You're tuning into Black and White Sports on YouTube. The no-holds-barred truth on sports. The main event starts.
All right, Black and White sports supporters. Well, one NFL quarterback we have covered at great length over the last 2 years is Deshaun Watson. Of course, the lawsuits and his play or lack thereof on the field. He's either been injured or he's been putrid. One of the two. And, of course, he was also suspended in all of this. Well, man, I got to tell you, a story has come out of The Athletic / the New York Times, and it paints Deshaun Watson. Actually, what I will say is it proves true a lot of the things that we have been saying, including the fact that they did not want Alex Van Pelt gone. For you Patriot fans, Cleveland wanted to keep him. Deshaun Watson wanted Alex Van Pelt fired. And Joe Flacco, well, man, when it comes to quarterback acumen, how fast one person could pick up on an offense, it's pretty extraordinary. Oh, and by the way, Deshaun Watson got death threats, supposedly. At this point, I don't exactly know what to believe. So let's take a look at this, guys. This is jaw-dropping. For 3 years, the Browns contorted themselves to match Watson's strengths and desires, but teammates ultimately grew tired of the organization catering to an ineffective quarterback, and he never really fitted in Cleveland. He received at least one death threat. Now, as his second Achilles tear leaves Watson's career in danger, the Browns can begin the painful process of officially moving on from the worst trade and biggest mistake in franchise history. In NFL history? It's certainly the worst contract. I think it's the worst trade and contract, trade and sign ever. After Watson's 2023 season ended prematurely with a broken bone in his shoulder, Joe Flacco joined the Browns in December and resurrected his career by throwing for 300 yards in 4 consecutive games, something Watson failed to do once in 19 starts with the Browns. It was an embarrassing exposure of the franchise quarterback. The problem was never the scheme. For you guys wanting Kevin Stefanski out, did you hear what I just said? The problem was never the scheme. He's considered one of the best offensive minds in football. Understand that. Flacco's performance during an 11-6 finish, an improbable run to the playoffs, earned him the NFL's Comeback Player of the Year and merited another contract to remain in Cleveland as Watson's backup. Quote, you have to bring Joe back. Somebody has to teach Deshaun the offense. One member of the organization said as the season neared its conclusion, quote, Joe picked it up faster in 30 days than Deshaun has in 2 years. That's a dude that wasn't studying. Either that or his football IQ, not very good. It was a stinging indictment of a quarterback the Browns invested 3 first-round picks and guaranteed $230 million to obtain. Can you fire your owner? That would be the question I would ask if I'm a Browns fan today. Coach Kevin Stefanski had shown Watson film clips of his offense during their first meeting in March 2022. Demonstrating how Watson could thrive in the wide zone play-action scheme crafted by Gary Kubiak and Mike Shanahan. But after he arrived in Cleveland, Watson never embraced Stefanski's system. He wanted to be in the shotgun, and Stefanski wanted him under center to make the play-action component more effective. Yeah, if you're not willing to do play-action in that system, you can forget it. The Browns tried giving Watson what he wanted. They fired offensive coordinator Alex Van Pelt after the 2023 season and brought in Ken Dorsey. By the way, is Ken Dorsey still there? Question mark. Oh, he's not. Okay. Who had more experience with mobile quarterbacks like Josh Allen and Cam Newton. 2 weeks after Van Pelt was fired, Bill Callahan departed as offensive line coach to join his son's Brian's staff in Tennessee. By the way, Callahan, one of the best offensive line coaches in all of football, maybe the best, next to Dante Scarnecchia. I've spoken to players who believe Callahan would have stayed had Van Pelt remained on staff. So that's two things. You lost a very damn good quarterbacks coach / offensive coordinator. Now, look, Stefanski calls the plays. Van Pelt works very well with quarterbacks. He proved it this year with a rookie in Drake May with the Patriots. I've said they ought to try to get him to come back as a quarterbacks coach. Seriously, under Mike Vrabel. And we're not too sure Mike Vrabel is not going to keep him. He hasn't been fired yet, contrary to popular belief. He hadn't been fired yet. I've spoken to players who believe Callahan would have stayed had Van Pelt remained on the staff. So Watson was not only a poor quarterback, he made the rest of the team worse because they made moves to try to cater to him. Wow. Dorsey was supposed to deliver the type of offense Watson wanted, one with more choice routes between the quarterback and receivers and more shotgun formations and more freedom. None of it worked. You want to know how much it didn't work? Deshaun Watson, this is the 2024 grading for PFF. He's ranked as the 35th best quarterback in football. McCorkle Jones finished ahead of him. I kind of laugh at that. Mac Jones finished ahead of Deshaun Watson this year. So, there's that makes Watson look terrible. My God. That's unbelievable. One rival executive who spoke with the Browns officials before the start of the season was concerned about what lay ahead of them. Quote, not an ounce of positivity about the offense, the executive said. The vibes aren't exactly high. Watson was routinely missing open receivers. Yikes. We all saw the same things. One player said, we all watched the film. The guys are open. Then we get down here. Jesus. Off the field, Watson spent the year dealing with traumatic personal matters. His agent, David Mugalatta, received a disturbing email in June from someone threatening to shoot Watson or burn his house down. Wow. According to a police report obtained by The Athletic, the police later closed the investigation with no suspects identified. In the week leading up to the season opener, Watson's father and college teammate died within a few days spans. There are things that are bigger than this, Watson said. It's been a long week. It wasn't even really about football. He faced a new civil lawsuit alleging he sexually assaulted a woman in 2020. The suit was quickly settled and the league closed a brief investigation, citing insufficient evidence. Wow. That's just a nightmare. He settled more than 20 lawsuits alleging sexual misconduct. He served an 11-game suspension and paid a $5 million fine. Wow. Players have told me there's constant heaviness surrounding Watson in the locker room and that they felt a different energy in the building upon his departure from his Achilles injury. So when he got hurt, wow, the locker room felt better about it. A couple of veterans told me it felt like a cloud had been lifted. Oh, man. That is a train wreck, by the way. That is a train wreck. And, of course, we know there's reports his career is a wrap. Very likely because of that new Achilles injury, or at least he's going to be out in 2025. And the point is, who's going to want him? Even if he gets healthy, The tape is terrible for 3 seasons. And he's got all this baggage. Who's going to want him? I mean, honestly. I had heard, and we talk Patriots on this channel a lot, and I had heard through the grapevine that Bill O'Brien ran an offense for him in Houston that was basically just a souped-up version of the Clemson offense he ran in college. So if you combine that with some of the things you take from this, could Deshaun Watson not run an NFL offense? Is that something we're talking about and got $230 million? Sounds to me like he stole money. Oh. As far as the death threats go, I mean, I don't know what that's about, but if you put yourself in the public light, that kind of thing. I mean, I've gotten emails, ugly emails, specific emails. When I cover politics, somebody doesn't like something I got to say, man, I mean, it comes with the gig. Nobody loves it, but it is what it is. And shit, he's got all kinds of things hanging over his head. That's unbelievable. I don't know. You tell me what you think. What a scathing report on Deshaun Watson. Go read the whole story at The Athletic. Holy mackerel. It is I don't know who brings him on. I think it's a wrap. Tell me what you think. Peace. I'm out. Till next time.
Thanks for watching the show. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Be sure to tune in next time on Black and White Sports.